stop scrolling. Diana Taurasi just lit a match and tossed it into a room full of gasoline, and the blast is echoing through every WNBA locker room, every arena tunnel, and every comment section on the internet. In a scorching new clip from her doc series, the legend looks straight into the camera and says the words that detonated a class war. "The fucking janitor at the arena made more than me." That one sentence flipped the script. Instead of winning sympathy for low WNBA pay, it triggered a wave of fury from blue-collar fans, arena workers, and everyday people who felt disrespected and talked down to. This isn't a normal salary debate anymore. This is pride. This is respect. And this is the kind of messy, unfiltered moment that tells you exactly who's real and who's playing a role. Here's the tea. Taurasi isn't new to the pay conversation. For years, she said the quiet part out loud. The WNBA didn't pay stars anywhere close to what the game demanded. She chased bigger checks overseas. She missed family events, holidays, even parts of WNBA seasons because foreign clubs offered life-changing money. That's her story, sacrifice and grind for generational wealth. But then came that line about janitors, a line that landed like an elbow to the jaw. Because when you say an arena janitor made more than you, a lot of people don't hear the nuance or the context. They hear you comparing your job to theirs. They hear you using their work as the punchline. And when fans saw that clip fly across X and TikTok, they didn't lean in with sympathy. They pushed back with memes, with receipts, and with a loud, offended chorus. Respect workers. And that's where the internet went nuclear. On one side, you've got fans who loved Taurasi's game but hated her wording. They're saying, we get that pay is broken, but why toss a blue-collar crew under the bus? On the other side, you've got diehard Taurasi defenders who insist she wasn't insulting janitors. She was highlighting how painfully low WNBA salaries used to be and how broken the system still feels for many players. In between, you've got a mountain of posts arguing over numbers, years, minimums, maximums, TV deals, and revenue splits. But let's be real. Most people don't care about spreadsheets when their pride is on the line. When a superstar brings up a janitor, emotion beats math every time. Look at how the memes hit. Split-screen images of mops and trophies, captions like "janitor greater than GOAT," gifs of people clocking in with a winking. "Thanks for the raise, Diana." Arena staffers chimed in, saying they bust their tails for low pay, odd hours, and little thanks. They make sure floors don't turn into injury traps. They clean locker rooms after blowouts and heartbreaks. They do the invisible work so stars can shine. To them, the line felt like a gut punch, no matter what the intent was. And when you antagonize the people who keep the lights on, literally and figuratively, you're going to hear about it, loudly. But here's the twist in the tension. The frustration behind Taurasi's quote is real. The WNBA's salary ceiling sits far below what fans imagine for icons. Top players in recent seasons max out around $250,000. Many role players earn well under that, and veterans with years in the league still see numbers that don't match the grind, the travel, the wear and tear, and the brand weight they carry. For a long time, the math forced stars overseas, into Russia, Turkey, and beyond, to grab the bag they couldn't find at home. That's a harsh reality the league has been wrestling with forever. So yes, Taurasi's sentiment that the pay gap is disrespectful to elite women hoopers has a foundation. But when you pin the comparison to a janitor, you turn the people you need on your side into the people you're suddenly fighting. Let's not pretend timing doesn't matter here. The league is in a heat wave of attention. New stars are pulling casuals into the tent. Rivalries are spicier than ever. Ratings are up. The conversation volume is way past normal. Players have been louder about pay, wearing statement shirts, pressing for a new cut, arguing they should share more in the upside they helped build. If there was ever a moment to rally fans to the players' side, it's right now. That's why the janitor line hits so hard. It takes a fight that could unify players and fans and turns it into a fight between players and the people who sweep the confetti after your championship parade. That's not a good look, even if your point is valid. And yet, there's a reason this clip grabs you by the collar. It's raw. It's unfiltered. It's the truth as one of the greatest to ever do it experienced it. That kind of honesty is rare because it's risky. When stars talk like this, they take their brand and put it on the line. Taurasi chose the hard words. Now she has to eat the hard backlash. That's the price of sharp candor. It can win you respect from your peers who know the grind, while getting you dragged by fans who think you just dissed their entire paycheck-to-paycheck life. The sports world has seen this movie. A star makes a point about economics and slips a match onto a pile of regular people's dignity. It never ends well. It didn't help that this sounded like a punch down, even if it was meant as a punch up at league pay scales. Blue-collar pride is undefeated online the second the clip spread. Every janitor, custodian, cleaner, and building crew member got name-checked as the new MVP. People posted videos of their daily routines, the late-night shifts, the behind-the-scenes grind that nobody claps for. They reframed the whole debate. If you want respect, give respect. If you want better pay, don't leverage the lowest-paid workers as your measuring stick. That message hit home in a way no salary chart ever could. But here's where it gets even messier. The numbers aren't static. Over the years, WNBA salaries have inched up. The cap moved, the max grew, the league added sponsors, social buzz spiked. Some players pulled big endorsements, NIL-style deals, and off-court money. So the literal claim that a janitor made more than an all-time great, it depends on the year, the arena, the role, the contract, the benefits, and the overtime. That's the complicated truth the internet never wants to hear. What the internet wants is a clean dunk. And the clean dunk here was simple. Don't come for janitors, don't use workers as props. That was the clip. That was the slam. And that's why this won't die tomorrow. Let's talk about damage control. If Taurasi wanted to steady the ship, she'd drop a follow-up clarifying the point. Something like, I wasn't disrespecting arena staff. I respect them. My words were about a broken system, not the people who make the game possible. A little empathy would go a long way. A shout-out to workers would flip some of the heat into heart. Because the truth is, fans can hold two ideas in their heads. Women hoopers deserve a better cut, and workers who keep arenas running deserve respect. Those don't cancel each other. They reinforce each other. This could be a moment to build a bridge between players and staff, not burn it. Now zoom out. When you strip the emotions and look at the scoreboard, the league is at a crossroads. Attention is rising. The product is better than ever. Stars are larger than life on social. Rivalries are catnip. If there's a time to renegotiate value, it's now. But to win that fight, you need fans to ride with you. You need blue-collar buy-in. You need the security guard who high-fives a kid after the game, the usher who finds a lost phone, the custodian who dries a sweat spot during a timeout so someone doesn't blow out a knee. Those people are the culture. They're also the best messengers to the rest of America about why the game matters. Alienate them, and you're taking points off your own board. And for the league office, this is a case study in narrative risk. A single sentence from one of your all-time faces can hijack your biggest talking point and spin it into a class war. That's brutal. But it's also an opportunity. If the WNBA can step in and frame this moment as respect for all workers, plus a fair deal for players, everybody wins. Imagine a campaign that spotlights arena staff and WNBA athletes together, talking about shared pride, shared grind, and shared value. That turns a PR nightmare into a culture win. It also pressures sponsors to show up with bigger checks for everyone involved, not just the top of the pyramid. Here's the mid-video reality check. The line hit because it was true to how she felt, and it was clumsy in how it landed. Both can be true. Taurasi is a competitor to her bones. She's been told no her whole life and beat that word into submission. She came up in a system that made her leave her home league for real money far away. That leaves scars. But if you want to lead this conversation in 2025, you also need to read the room. The heroes in this story, the fans, the workers, the people who stretch a paycheck and still buy tickets, jerseys, and subscriptions, don't want to be used as a comparison. They want to be included in the victory. They want to feel like the women they cheer for see them, value them, and speak with them, not at them. So where do we land? First, on pure impact, the clip is a 5-alarm fire. It gave the people who hate women's sports a week's worth of material and made the people who love it feel uneasy about defending the messenger, even when they agree with the message. Second, on pure content, it's a goldmine. It opened the floodgates to stories from past seasons, early WNBA paychecks, overseas offers, and the trade-offs of chasing the bag beyond U.S. borders. Third, on pure optics, it's a lesson. The best message doesn't matter if your delivery steps on dignity. Respect is the entry fee for any conversation about money. If you don't pay it, nobody listens to what comes next. And yet, we still end up at the same truth the players have been yelling for years. The game is growing, and the compensation should grow with it. You can support that truth without stepping on the people who mop your floor before tip-off. You can call out a broken system without calling out a worker. You can talk about your sacrifices and still spotlight someone else's. That's how this should be framed from here on out. Not players versus janitors, but players and workers versus indifference. Players and workers versus a system that undervalues both. That's the win. That's the alliance. That's the story worth telling. So, to the fans and the crews who felt disrespected, your anger is real, and it's earned. To the players who feel underpaid, your fight is real, and it's necessary. To the league and sponsors, your timing is now. Build a bigger pie and cut it fairly. Put respect first, put people first. And to the stars with the microphone, choose words that pull people in, not words that push them away. The next sentence you say could become the next viral clip. Make it one that unites, not divides. Because when the confetti settles and the cameras shut off, the memory that lasts isn't just who scored 30. It's how you made people feel. Did you lift them up or talk past them? Did you show gratitude or flex status? Moments like this become part of a legacy, and legacy is the one thing you can't erase with a hot streak. You build it every time you speak. You guard it every time a mic turns red. You can lose it with a single careless sentence. This is bigger than a paycheck brag or a gotcha meme. It's about respect for grind, on the court, in the tunnels, in the stands, and on the night shift that nobody sees. The people who roll the racks, tape the lines, scrub the scuffs, and sweep the puddles deserve better than to be the punchline. And the players who turn sweat into drama and drama into ratings deserve a deal that reflects what they bring. That's where the line should be drawn, not between each other, but side by side, pointed forward. This story doesn't end with an apology or a clapback. It ends when both sides can look each other in the eye and say, we're in this together, and we all deserve respect. Players get paid, workers get thanked, fans get a product that feels proud and united. That's the championship speech. That's the banner moment. That's the headline that wins. Diana Taurasi thought she'd silence the people dragging her by doubling down on a pay rant, but ended up destroying her own legacy instead.